What if the reason you feel lost, overwhelmed, or not enough has nothing to do with your circumstances, and everything to do with a name you forgot? There's a guided meditation waiting for you at the end of this that might be the quietest 5 minutes you've had all week. So stay with me. Here's what we're actually going to do together. There's a simple, repeatable practice hidden inside today's material, a way of returning your mind to something deeper than the constant mental noise of identity. Most of us don't realize how much of our exhaustion comes from the sheer number of names we're carrying around at any given moment. Job titles, relationship roles, the label you gave yourself in the shower this morning when you replayed something embarrassing from 3 years ago. The 1,000 small names we assign to our worries: behind, broken, too much, not enough. This teaching says, drop all those names, even for 30 seconds, and return to the one underneath. Something in you settles when you do. That's the whole thing. That's what we're practicing. Let me show you what I mean. It's Wednesday afternoon. You're sitting in a meeting that has already gone 20 minutes past when it was supposed to end. Your phone is buzzing in your pocket. Someone across the table just said something that landed wrong. Maybe it was the tone, maybe the timing, and now your brain has quietly opened a file on them. You're building a case. You're assigning them a name in your head. Difficult, dismissive, the problem. Meanwhile, you're also carrying your own name from earlier, the one who should have spoken up, the one who's behind on the report, the one who forgot to text back. By the time you walk back to your desk, you are fully inside a story. It has characters. It has a plot. It has a villain. And honestly, it has a second villain. Because you're not letting yourself off the hook either. And you are exhausted before the day is even over. We've all been in some version of this. It doesn't have to be a meeting. It could be a text thread, a dinner, a silence in the car. The details change, the mechanism doesn't. Here's the image I want you to hold. Imagine your mind as a whiteboard, and every hour, more names get written on it. Your to-do list, the argument from last Tuesday. Your job title. Your worry about money, your fear that everyone else has it figured out and you don't. The label you just slapped on the person in the meeting. The label you slapped on yourself for slapping a label on them. By 3 p.m., the whiteboard is so covered in writing that you've forgotten there's a surface underneath. You think the writing is the whiteboard. You think you are the sum of everything scrawled across it. And when the writing feels heavy, you feel heavy, because you've mistaken the marks for who you are. This lesson is about finding the eraser. Not to fix any specific word, not to argue with the writing, just to remember that the whiteboard itself, underneath all of it, was always clean. Here's what happens when even one name goes quiet. Go back to the meeting for a second. Imagine you're walking back to your desk, still building the case, still assigning the villain role, still carrying your own name as the one who's behind. And then, just for a moment, maybe because you pass a window, maybe because the coffee is warm in your hand, one of those names loosens. Just one. Maybe it's the villain label on your coworker. You stop being sure. You think, They're probably also having a Wednesday. Notice what happens in your body when even one name softens. Your shoulders come down half an inch. Your breath goes deeper by one breath. And you haven't fixed anything. The meeting still ran long. The phone is still buzzing. The report is still late. But something in you is no longer holding all of it as tightly. That's the door, that crack of relief when one name goes quiet. That's what this practice is pointing at. And underneath that quieter name, if you keep going, there's something even more still. Something that doesn't need a name at all. And here's where it turns. The part of you that noticed the shift, the part that felt the shoulders drop, the breath deepen, that part was never made of any of those names to begin with. Read that again if you need to. The you that observes the story isn't a character in the story. The you that notices the whiteboard isn't one of the words on it. There's something underneath your job title, underneath your role in your family, underneath your worry, underneath even your own name, and it was never threatened by any of it. Not the meeting. Not the argument. Not the money. Not the version of yourself you're most afraid of being. This isn't mystical. It's actually very ordinary. You've touched it 1,000 times without noticing, in the second before you fully wake up, in the pause after laughter, in the quiet after someone you love falls asleep next to you. You know this place. You just didn't know you knew, and the practice is simply this: return there. On purpose, even briefly. So how do you actually do this in the middle of a Wednesday? You don't need a mantra. You don't need incense. You don't need to fix the meeting or forgive the coworker or resolve the argument first. You just need 30 seconds and a willingness to set the names down. Here's what it looks like. You're at your desk. The story is still running. You close your eyes for the length of one long breath, and instead of reaching for another name, another label, another judgment, another item on the list, you reach for something wordless. Not a thought. Not a plan. Just the quiet underneath, the whiteboard without the writing. The part of you that was here before the meeting and will be here after it. You don't have to believe anything about it. You just have to visit it. 30 seconds. That's the whole practice. And here's what you'll notice: you come back different. The meeting didn't change, the person didn't change, but the urgency that was crushing your chest a moment ago has drained by about 40%. The report is still late, and somehow it's a task now instead of a crisis. The coworker is still whoever they are, and somehow they're a person now instead of a villain. The weight doesn't disappear. Let me be honest about that. You still have to send the email, have the conversation, pay the bill. Daily life doesn't dissolve because you touched something quiet, but you stop being run by it, because you've remembered, not intellectually, but in your body, that you are not the sum of the names on the whiteboard. You never were, and the part of you that's underneath all of them was never in trouble in the first place. So the next time it's Wednesday afternoon, and the meeting is long, and the phone is buzzing, and you can feel the story building, see if you can find the eraser. Not to wipe your life clean. Just to remember what's underneath. 30 seconds is enough. And when you're ready, I'll walk you into it right now. If you're finding value here, you're welcome to like the video and subscribe. And now, let's shift into a quiet guided meditation together. Let's take these next few minutes for you. Find a way of sitting that lets your body rest. Feet on the floor if that helps. Shoulders soft. You don't have to do anything special with your hands. Let your eyes close, or lower your gaze to something still. Take one breath in, and let it out slowly. Another breath, a little deeper. One more. And this time, let the exhale be longer than the inhale. Notice, without judgment, how many things your mind is holding right now. The list, the conversation, the worry, the name you've been calling yourself all morning. You don't have to solve any of it. Just notice it's there. And now, gently, imagine setting one of them down. Just one, the heaviest one, maybe, or the smallest. It doesn't matter. Let it rest somewhere outside of you. It will still be there when you need it. But not right now. Set down another one. And another. Keep going. Quietly. Until the whiteboard begins to feel less crowded. And when you're ready, let go of your own name too. The labels. The roles. The story of who you're supposed to be today, just for these breaths. What's left when the names are quiet? Something is still here. Awake. Breathing. Aware. Rest in that. Don't try to describe it. Don't try to hold it. Just let yourself be here. Underneath everything. This is the surface that was always clean. This is what was here before Wednesday. This is what will be here on Friday. Stay a little longer, breathing, resting. No names required. And when you feel the day beginning to call you back, know that you can return here anytime. In the meeting, at your desk, in the car. 30 seconds is enough. Bring your attention slowly back to the room. Feel your feet. Feel the weight of your hands. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Thank you for practicing with us today. If you'd like, there's a link to a free digital copy of ACIM in the description. And if this video resonated with you, please comment. I am grateful. Thank you for being here, for giving yourself these few minutes in the middle of everything you're carrying. If the day gets loud again, and it will, remember there's a surface underneath all of it. And you know how to find it now. Be gentle with yourself today. I'll see you in the next one.